Hello, everybody, and welcome back to session or episode number 42. Let's go. This is today. I planned it perfectly because we all know that the answer to the universe is 42. And most likely, depending how these folks or what they do, they might get an answer. Is it the number 42, or is it something completely different and unrelated to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? We will find out in a bit. But one of my players was teasing the others, saying that I have sent her something, and the viewers can already see because the layout has been updated. Because yes, I have made the artwork for Jade Nightlock officially now. You can post it inside of the Discord. Actually, I should have a way to show it as well. You know what? I will upload it on Roll20.
Ooh. Oh, I love that.
That's
I was so excited. I was like so in love.
Yes.
He
Sex
looks
build
like
is
a badass.
And notable feature, which I think we forgot to mention, is since she's a Shadakai, one very notable feature of Shadakais is they have like reverse elf ears, where the bottom of the ears are pointed and not the top.
Oh,
Love that.
That is awesome.
Tiny little detail
interesting.
there. Yes. Okay. The players, please, not the players, the viewers, please don't shout at me. I can show it to everyone, and then I can show it.
What is the shield?
I know. Is that metal that's like twisted?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. People chill. There she is.
Old school.
Yep, and you can see the scar on my eye if you zoom in on it.
Yeah.
That is really cool. But that is why I said that it would have been really hard to show you my calyx mark. Because the type of clothing that I'm wearing.
Ah, fair enough.
It does
Fair
look
enough.
like comfy clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, there she is. What a beauty. I'm drawing, not her, but if you fancy her, I mean, go ahead. I get way too easily distracted today. Yes. And now, since we left off on something where we can predict something again, so when we do our introduction, our player and character introductions, you can predict what the fuck does this old man want, who he is, what you want from him, what he wants from you, if he wants anything from you. Just say something. If you get anything correct, you will get an inspiration. Starting off with none other than
Me. Sorry, I was looking at the picture again. I'm Greg, and I'm playing Eirik Spanner, the human artificer, who's going through quite a lot, just walking into something so incredibly terrifying. I for some strange reason I have no basis of knowledge here, but I think that this old person in the middle of the field is not actually there, and they're kind of like a facsimile to something greater. And it's kind of like a, I said about the little, I forget what it was now, the little kid character thing that we saw walking around, that was like a beacon. So I think this is like another beacon of something.
oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, good time to go. Okay. Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm playing Dr. Fiera, Chronomancer Wizard from Canaan. Oh boy. What's this mean? Yeah, but I have like 40 theories, and they're probably all wrong. So the strangest bit is that everybody that seems to come here is dead on a pike if they have the mark. So I think we are probably going to our death, and this person prevents people from interacting with the tree that is probably connected to Calyx in some way as a form of power. So for some reason, he wants Calyx to live, and he will kill us to stop us from doing anything and actually finding the answers. The answers will be death.
Very good, but okay.
You're muted.
I'm not a mess. My name is Skit, and I play Isarel Leafina, the High Elf Druid / Cleric, who is very, very curious about this tree and wants to talk to it rather than the person standing before them. Doesn't really care for the person right now. There is a cool tree. She wants to talk to it. As far as this person that we have in front of us, I think that he is kind of a reverse Calyx, where he is the answer to how to remove the blood curse, because I think he's the one who created Calyx, or was at the base of Calyx creation.
Very interesting. Okay. Then, last but not least.
And then there's me. I'm Felicia. I'm playing Jade Nightlock, Paladin Warlock. I am very, from her perspective, I'm really curious, with knowledge that I'm not supposed to share. I wonder if this person is of what I'm researching.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
And I'm trying to do this cryptic because they're not supposed to know anything. So I'm wondering if they could be related to that somehow. If it could be the answer that I'm looking for.
Yes, that is very interesting.
Freaking Grace over there just like, what is happening?
He doesn't like
Time
it.
for a suspicious goat.
Yes. Okay.
Or that person was there at the creation of Calyx.
Yes. Okay, so we've got our 4 theories, and we will see if any of them prove to be correct. A lot of goats being spammed by Greg. Something seems to be a bit sus, as I could say. I guess let's not wait too long and just jump right into it. See whether or not the answer is death. Similarly, some mysterious thing that someone is researching. Okay, for some reason it's taking time to play on my end. Please play. Is it playing on your guys' end?
It just stopped on mine.
Okay, yeah, I just stopped it. I'm trying to redo it because it's not playing on my end. And I do not. Okay, so it's just not playing for me. Interesting. Interesting. Then I guess I would just have to manually play it, which kind of sucks. Wait, okay, no. Actually, I have to check if any of my other music will actually play. Or if it's just that track. So if you suddenly hear epic music, it's because I'm just testing. Yep, nothing's working for me, so I have to reload 420. I apologize.
It would not be our game without technical difficulties of some kind.
Yeah, we didn't have any up until now. Well, Discord was doing some crazy shit, but it stopped.
Oddly, I don't see Greg, so I'm just gonna reload quick.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I thought it was a joke. Now the question is.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
But we don't see you.
Hello.
Hello, Gregs. Hello, Matt.
Nah, we'll just leave this bit in. I actually don't have any time to edit too much. Okay, now we will try once again. Hopefully it will work. No, I'm still not working. Oh my god, why? Why won't you play? Sometimes it just takes a really long time to load. But the fact that I can't play any of my other stuff is a bit annoying. Let's try combat music. Just... Okay. I have to skip, then it will play. It's working. No, it's not working. It stopped after 2 seconds. Now it's working.
A field with rolling hills. A forest with twisting trees as the wind howls a song of the night's lament. The echoes of screams are carried through the valley, and the tears of those who have lost a loved one falls as rain to the ground, nourishing this blighted land to further extend this cruel reality. A darkness that leaves its trace visible for all to see, as to remind the people who live here what their fate will undeniably be. Death. Demons ravage this land, a manifestation and proof of this unforgivably cruel world. They consume and feed off the despair of their victims, and no one is safe from their corruption. Those who wish to stand up against the fate of this world will bear witness to the despair and cruelty that this land has to offer. Will you be one of them? Will you challenge the curse of a dying land? Will you fight it and overcome it? Or will you fail and be consumed by the corruption of this unfaithful world, and become one of many whose lives have been forgotten and consumed by the blight?
Yes. Gonna start this off with a quick recap. You guys have been making your way towards the crossing after having a quick stop at one of the nearby cities. You have decided to continue your path despite the warnings of a potential conflict happening at this very crossing between, well, it seems like everyone. And so on your way there into the city, you unfortunately still lost Arya, but that didn't stop your troop as a 3-man trio going there. You encountered an odd individual who seemed to be following you, who was also marked. You decided to not travel with them, and on your continued journey you would encounter poles, which turned out to be, well, impaled individuals, each one of them also having the mark seemingly on their bodies. You would discover that a bit of parchment has been attached to them, some sort of charm or magical pamphlet, if you so will, that prevents their bodies from further decay even after death. You still continued onwards and would later then smell the burning of flesh and encounter an individual who would introduce herself as Jade Nightlock, who has apparently been sent by Zephyrus, or at least she had a letter of introduction given towards you. As you unsealed the letter, a magical illusionary face of Zephyrus himself would appear, and he briefly explained that she is a companion here to help you on whatever task you are on, and then disappeared. And you were supposed to trust this odd individual who you have encountered in the middle of nowhere at a very, very dangerous location. However, before you could talk too much, there seemed to be a orc warband traversing these parts, and you would encounter them and have to fight them, where you kind of put all of your abilities together and put some trust in your newly acquainted friend, who has proven to be quite useful, and together you managed to quite easily take care of the orcs, burning them. But during this fight you have noticed that they are in a odd state, and they have been injecting themselves with weird syringes with red liquid, and when they did that they kind of got empowered, but also turned into kind of a bloodlusty state that made them unstable mentally and just kind of seeking for more things to hit and enraged. However, you successfully defeated them, and then you continued on your way to find the location of the red roses where apparently Calyx was born. During your trip or your search, you would encounter another strange phenomenon, which is a small boy with completely white hair, whitish skin, dressed quite humbly with but a long shirt, and very wide bright eyes that seem to be almost glowing, that was collecting the burnt corpses of the bodies you have just killed. Kind of held you distance, and he just kind of passed you, and following into his footsteps, why am I blanking? Footprints. Prince is the word. Jesus Christ. And with a very helpful spell from Isera, which is Find Plant, you would find the red blood lotuses. And not just one, and not just two, but an entire field that was sitting inside of a crater where there was a carpet full of them, turning the more green, brownish, earthy tones of the ground into a vibrant red one. And in the middle of this crater were a few oddly shaped stones kind of leading outwards, in the middle a very intriguing looking tree that looked a bit like a lightning. And then as you spend a bit more time there, you would encounter a very strange individual That is where we kind of left off. This individual I shall describe again. A tall man, seemingly human, since there are no other discernible features that would make you believe that he would be of a descent other than human. No long ears. His nose seems quite average, not super pointy, not super bulbous. His skin tone is that of normal Caucasian descent. The only difference is that he's extremely large, almost to the point where one would even consider him maybe being a Goliath, since he's about 7 feet tall or even taller. He has quite a good build, but seems very thin, as his legs are quite long. He has rustled white hair that is extremely stringy on the end. His eyes have been closed shut by bandages, it seems like, that have been wrapped around his head. But the more noticeable part about him were the odd pieces of parchment or scrolls that are hanging loose from his body that have been nailed into his body. You can see at his forearms they're very distinctive long nails that are piercing through his entire forearm, and there are these weird pieces of paper hanging from the loose ends. The other thing is he also seems to be adorning a weird nail crown that sits on his head, and of course a incredibly long and large greatsword. More long, it's very thin in relation to its actual size. It probably is thick, but its length just goes on and on and on. It's probably about 10 to 15 feet long, if you would have to assume. Much larger than the guy himself holding it. And you step towards him. As you kind of stepped into his vicinity, you would stand up where you could truly see the size of this fellow. And as you're standing in this field, you kind of take in the wind that is blowing from the close by ocean and the cliff. The odd smell of very light iron in the air. It's a bit moist. You can feel the cold seeping through your boots, though you're decently well dressed for this type of weather. And you can see that slowly there are a few red petals flying through the air, occasionally landing on your shoulder but then falling down again. And you can see this old man, and I do indeed have a picture of him. So you can see just what you are looking at.
That's Jesus. Like
That's
actual
not at all
Jesus.
what I thought it was.
No, me neither.
So it's... that is
Oh, boy.
insane.
We're like a ripped Santa Claus.
I mean, he's gotta be. With all those presents he's carrying.
Holy shit.
It's a lot of nails.
This changes my opinion on what we might be doing.
Like nooses around his neck. Oh, my opinion hasn't changed. It's very 50-50.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if it's part of what I'm supposed to be looking into.
What is this guy's dance toward us? Is it like, passive, or is it aggressive?
Mm.
Is he charging toward us?
No, he...
Blood cry.
He was charging. I'm pretty sure we've been rolling initiative already.
Oh my god. Oh, there it is. I can put it larger for the viewers to see. Yeah, no, he, as you kind of approach, he stand up, but he's in a very, I would say, relaxed position, almost like the one you're seeing in the picture. He's just kind of standing there. Though he isn't necessarily doing something, he does have a extremely strong aura of intimidation just kind of oozing out of him. But probably unwillingly, and just that's just the way he looks. However, as you're kind of standing there and, you know, trying to ascertain his demeanor, you can make an insight check.
This one, here we go.
Please, it's a good stat for me. Please.
Oh, 26.
Here, all over. the place.
Mine is thinking. So when it finally decides to stop thinking.
We will quickly, shortly wait. Maybe we'll decide. That's a 7. Okay, so I think Fiera, Eirik, and Jade, y'all are just intimidated by this individual. And your knees are probably a bit shaky. Isra, who has just lost a friend, probably doesn't give too much of a shit, and she's just like, I want to know what's up. I need to know what's up. And you look at this guy. You don't sense any sort of hostility from him. He doesn't seem like he's gonna use this greatsword to chop off your heads. At least not now. Instead, you see him as he's kind of like standing there. He has sort of a very slow but heavy breath. Kind of, he takes one deep breath in. And then one deep, low breath out. Almost as if he's somewhat struggling to be standing there. But from his physique, he seems quite firm in his stance. The other thing you would gain from him is he's kind of sad in a way. And as you're kind of trying to, you know, analyze him more, the others would then also feel this is similar to when you kind of met people who you knew were very powerful individuals. There's always a certain aura, which you have now come to know as annihilation field, that surrounds them. And it hasn't been like in your conscious mind, but now that you have been standing here for a little while longer, there is a certain gravity that is almost like pulling your blood towards him, or your soul, or something. It's like you are opening up in some sort of way which you can't really comprehend. Like something in the space is happening because of him, but you don't fully understand or comprehend what is happening. You just feel like something about you, about yourself, physically or mentally, is opening up towards him.
Just as a question for where we are physically in the crater, are we inside that ring of stone that are sticking out of the ground, or are we outside of that?
You are kind of still outside. He's standing between those stones, so he's on the ring basically, and you're still outside of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And about how far away currently?
From the stone or from him?
From him.
I would say probably like 100 to 150 feet.
Just as a side note, I completely changed my theory of who he is.
Oh, not reverse Calyx.
What? It's actually Santa Claus.
It is.
No.
He's here to give
Yeah,
you.
no. I think he's the old Calyx, or who he was before he became Calyx, and now we have to reunite the both of them. That's my new theory.
Oh, that would be wholesome.
So that they can go back and he can go to hell and die. Is my new theory. Okay, that being said.
I just imagine Iserel standing in the field saying all this.
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't make any motion toward us, even if it makes him upset, I will say under my breath a word, an arcane word, so I can cast Intellect Fortress on myself and Iserel. It's just a verbal action, so I just say the word, and a little crown of runes appear on me and Iserel's head.
He doesn't seem to make any movements against you casting the spell.
So that's for you, Iserel.
Yep. I made a little mental note.
Yep. It's for an hour.
As I get like this inside feeling that I don't feel like he's hostile or anything like that, and that I kind of feel this sadness, I'm gonna slowly start walking towards him, like very, very slowly, in a very non-aggressive way. Like, you know, like my hands are they're not necessarily up there, but like kind of in view, and I'm slowly going to walk, and as I get to about like 2/3, like, no, sorry, I'm doing this, but once I'm like 1/3 of the way there, so there's like 2/3 between him and me, I'm just gonna say, "Are you the one we're seeking?"
The words come out. The man who's standing there. You hear, before he says anything, a and it sounds like someone is carving a bit of wood. And as you kind of look to his side, several feet behind him, similarly white hair, just a lot cleaner, a lot smaller. The white boy you have seen before, kind of sitting next to him. And he has got a small kitchen knife, it seems like, but sharpened, and is currently sharpening a pole or a pike in shape of a cross. And next to him, kind of lying in the flower fields, are the burnt bodies that you have burned. 2 of those bodies have been impaled, and their hand placed in a similar fashion, and you have analyzed these bodies. They had the mark. And as you say the words you have just said, Iserel, you hear a response as the mouth of this old man then moves, and he says,
"So you have found one of my letters then?"
He left the letter in the library.
I knew it. I'm going to keep walking a little bit towards him, and I'm gonna say, "We did find it. We're looking to end his madness."
you can see him kind of turn his head lower to kind of come into sight of you, as if he's looking straight towards you. Can you make a perception check?
Yeah.
That is a 10. Now that you are getting closer, you can feel a pressure kind of weighing down on you. And every step you take becomes a little bit more difficult. But this feeling of opening up also becomes stronger. It's like opening a wound but without the pain. It's like feeling blood come out of it, but without the, you know, effects of blood loss. That's the only way I can describe it. And that's probably what's kind of straining on your concentration, so you don't really notice anything different. But he then responds to your question.
Is this the purpose of why you came here? To end his madness?
When he says that, I'm gonna stop in my tracks and think for a little bit, and feeling like this pull to openness, I'm gonna say, to be honest, I also want revenge.
He then kind of steers his head away from you and then towards the other three that are standing behind you.
And you three, why is it that you have come here?
I have come to help them, and I want to also learn about Calyx's origins and how he became what he is.
And if I'm to be honest, I have larger goals. And I've found that there's much corruption to weed out before I can go after them. Calyx is creating a large corruption, and he was born of corruption. So I will remove it from history so that I can build a better world.
I would like to have agency back over my life and not be associated with such a dire situation. Also, these people, not her, these two have become close with me, and I'm trying to protect them and see through our plans together.
So, none of you seek power.
Oh, no.
No.
I'll just raise my arm and say, not through this.
You can see he gives a very gentle nod. And you can kind of feel that he becomes even more relaxed as he kind of lets out a
Then you have several options here. As you do not seek power, I have no need to end you. If you wish to absolve your sins, then step towards the tree and pluck a fruit. If your heart is deemed gracious enough, then the mark will disappear. However, if that is not the case, then you shall be swallowed by the tree to bear the next fruit. But if you wish to end Calyx, there are only two ways, one of which unfortunately seems impossible for your group.
What are the ways to destroy him?
The only way to kill him with a mortal weapon is to first forgive him.
Oh, Izrael's not gonna be able to do that. Oh my god.
No, as he says that, Izrael's heart sank like deep in her chest.
I'm gonna be behind Izrael, and my hand is just gonna slowly and carefully just grab her shirt or whatever she's wearing, just to make sure she doesn't like run forward. Just
I don't move.
So you said that there was another way, but you didn't think it was possible for our group. What is that way?
No. Your group does not seek forgiveness, which is why you won't be able to kill him with a mortal weapon. However, there is an alternative method. One which will put you at great risk and danger.
Yeah, it's another day.
see, we're already there.
What type of risk and danger?
You must go to where he truly came from and find one of the last remaining divine artifacts to undo the seal that has placed him here.
Steel place to be.
Doing that. Let's find an artifact.
Do you know where he truly came from?
Do you wish to know the truth about Calyx?
Yes.
Absolutely. I need to know his origins and how he became what he is.
I need to end him. I need to know everything about him.
And I need to know what my people did.
I just need my life back.
Irik is a simple man.
I love
can't
how
come back.
we're just like in depth, we need things, and then he's just like, I just want my life back.
I just need a job to make a living, you know. 9 to 5 is okay. He kind of now grabs tight of his sword, lifts it up into the air, and you just can see this enormous arc as it kind of goes to an apex, as he then turns it around, spins it in his hand, and then just slams it into the floor. But because of its incredible length, it kind of just first cuts through the earth before it can stand vertically. And you can see this sword slices through the earth like fucking butter, like nothing was even there. It just kind of goes straight down as he swings it. And you can see the edges are a bit, you know, broken and torn. It doesn't look like a very sharp blade, but as it does so, it kind of, you know, easily goes in. And each and every single one of you can see that it almost looks like he literally just cut the air that was in the way of this sword's blade. And for a brief moment you don't even know what it's supposed to look like, but you notice like, oh, he just cut something that was there. And the only thing that was there was literally air, or maybe space itself. It just leaves behind this very weird trail that just leaves behind a odd feeling. After that, he kind of takes his hand away from it, but you can see there are still chains attaching him to the sword, so he doesn't, you know, go away far from it. And then says, "He is the one that is cursed, not you." A long time ago, a time where the true God still existed, he was punished for a sin that he had committed. Who the gods were, we do not know. What the sin was, we do not know. However, this cruel curse that was placed upon him has forced him to do every unthinkable deed that he would despise, but at the same time enjoy it. He was not the only one cursed this way. There were many, and they were placed inside of a prison away from here. And every single time a man sinned to a degree that upsetted the gods, they would send one of those ever-damned people here as a reminder why you should not commit a sin. And the only way you can save an ever-damned soul is to forgive him for every sin that he has committed, for every child that he has killed, for every family that he has torn apart, for every single drop of blood that was spilled because of him. Only if you can forgive every deed that he has done in his endless life, only then may he find his death.
So you see, Jade is furiously just writing all of this down in a journal. Just furiously just writing it.
Isarel is fidgeting with her necklace very nervously.
I probably know the answer, but I was probably never taught gods before the creator, right? Was I taught that the creator was the first?
as far as you're concerned, the creator is the one god that created everything.
Right. Yeah, I thought so.
So do we have to go to this prison to find this artifact?
Yes.
And where
it-
is this prison?
What you see behind me is a tree of purgatory, and on it there grows fruit of sin. It's an old gateway that leads back to what we now call hell. It is the root of Nephus, a branch that used to belong to the Tree of Power, but now it only connects the planes of the damned with ours. And like I said, if you take one of the fruits and your soul is not deemed clean, you will be absorbed by the tree, and you will be brought to hell.
Has anybody else been sent before us?
Yes.
Were they like us, or were they military? Were they incredibly powerful people?
I only see people, and I guide them to whatever they wish to do here. Whether they were powerful or not, that is in their hands, and not in my interest.
Do you know how long until the next crimson lunar eclipse?
Kind of cocks his head.
No.
When we received these marks, Calix said that it would be coming soon.
Yes. It's an omen. Something that cannot be stopped. However, I do not know what this omen is.
So you don't know, even if we stop him, that the omen would be undone?
No. An omen cannot be undone.
How do you know so much about omens?
I once used to carry one myself.
used to.
Make a persuasion check.
This definitely has my attention. Oh.
15. Kind of lowers his head a bit more. I am tied to this place. Not by choice. Forced by the sin that I have committed. I brought this upon myself. Some people would have called it a blessing. To be chosen instead of an angel. To take one of their place as a watcher. But because they are all dead, I am here now.
So you said you used to carry one. Used to is the key word, but you say that you can't leave here, so how do you not carry one anymore?
Make another persuasion check.
Digging deep.
Oh, come on, this is the task I'm supposed to be
Oh
good at.
god.
I have a +9 on perception, or persuasion. This is what I should be good at.
He says, omens are a waste of time. You should rather prepare what you're going to do after it has occurred. And don't dwell on the words of the omen spreader, for there's nothing to be changed of the words that they say.
Can I ask you your name?
I have thrown my name away. I do not own a name anymore.
And what sin tied you here, if you don't mind me asking?
Kind of puts his head up again. Almost as if he's trying to look straight towards you, and he says,
Do you wish to bear witness to what I have done?
Yes.
Yes.
We're here now.
Thank you for asking that question, Izrael.
Then, whoever wishes to bear witness shall step forward and place their hand on my sword.
I'm gonna walk up.
I am right beside her, and I just put my hand on the sword.
okay, so who touches the sword?
Me.
And
Like
me.
a pinky.
Pinky.
Ira Creed joining us.
It's
I
a
am-
party. It's gonna be fun.
We can give you the summary if you want.
I am still holding on to Isorel, and my hand reaches out toward the sword, and it is shaking furiously, like uncontrollably. Like
As
I,
as your hand starts shaking, I'm gonna put my other hand on the hand that's on my shoulder, and I'm just gonna squeeze it too.
Mm.
Hold on. Pass into you a little bit of come on, heroism.
oh,
You're a hero.
So yes, I'm just gonna make you brave a little bit.
it's still shaking.
Yeah. You guys place your swords upon it, and there's kind of a moment of serenity before you kind of get there we go, my brain is functioning 100%. It's a weird feeling where, you know, when you're in a dream, you just suddenly appear in a different area, like you blink and then you're somewhere else. And it doesn't feel like an odd sensation as in, oh shit, I just teleported somewhere else. It's just like accepted. It's like, oh yeah, now I'm here. And something very similar happens here as well. As you touch the sword, you can see suddenly in front of you a large open field of green grass flowing in the wind. The sky is grey and a bit of rain has started to drip down. But more noticeably on this somewhat kind of beautiful day, even though the sky is grey, on the field itself, marching are soldiers, all adorned in shining bright platinum armor, walking towards somewhere that you can't quite see, as there's a hill that crests at the end of your vision, and behind that the soldiers slowly disappear as they're kind of marching and walking. You can see yourself looking with a feeling of pride towards them, ambition, and a deep-seated anger that is motivating this march. Once again, you can see your vision shift, and now you see a dark sky. It is nighttime. Few clouds can be seen as they pass over the glowing moon, as it ominously stares down at you. And while the moment is peaceful, there's not much going on, you can feel a creeping tension inside of your chest, almost as if you want to relieve something. And it's that same anger that is kind of trying to burst out of your chest, out of your arms. Your muscles are getting tense. As you look to your side, you can see more soldiers immediately next to you, but the faces are kind of blurred out. All of them also adorned in heavenly, shining, bright platinum armor. You are standing behind the face of what seems to be a large hill, unable to see what is across on the other side. Your comrades, as you know for some reason suddenly, are standing in a line, a very ordered line, weapons at the ready. You have this sense of camaraderie. You're all here for one purpose, one goal, and you have dedicated what seems to be like your entire life for a moment, something that is filled with purpose and was as clear as daylight. You are standing here and about to do something that you know is right. And as soon as that happens, kind of another shift happens, as you suddenly feel a rush of adrenaline that kicks in. Sounds of cries, slaughter and fighting encapsulates all of your senses. You're in the middle of a battlefield. Your breath is heavy, but your grip is firm as you realize that your hand is cutting through someone that was standing in front of you, before his upper half falls down to the ground. A scaly face meets your eye as they close shortly after their life disappears. Their scales has a deep purple color. The armor is darkened and has edges on them, unlike your own smooth plate armor. Before you can even take in what more is happening, you can see flashes of bright white light as a group of similarly looking creatures, or perhaps people who aren't wearing any armor, get caught in the explosion that completely disintegrates their bodies. The cries and shouts continue as your body steps forward to its next target. But your vision fades into darkness as the sounds too all become more and more distant, where the only thing that you can now hear is the falling rain, the occasional cry of a child that is being slaughtered. And the next thing, as you kind of go through the darkness, your eyes open. And they open to a field once again. But this time it's not a field made out of grass, but instead piles and piles of corpses lying atop each other. You still have your sword in your hand, and you walk with conviction towards an unknown destination. It is raining heavily now. Blood is spilling from your armor, blood that is not yours. Your boots stick into cut open wounds of dead people. A crack of bone can be heard as you step on a child's arm, though that sound suddenly gets diminished by a crack of lightning that sends down several hundred feet in front of you. Though it is white at first, as soon as it hits the ground, a flash of red light climbs up the roots of the lightning, and suddenly it just stays there. Just this flash of white bright light. And the next thing you see is a man crying, covered in blood, illuminated by this red lightning strike. As you try to approach, your feet are frozen, and the man stands up and looks towards you. An expression of despair covers his face, and the blood around him of the dead people seeps through to his skin and mantles him. After which you can hear the words,
"Why have you sinned? Now the people will suffer. I have become an omen to you people. The gate will remain open until my sin is forgiven, so please, I beg you now, while I still have my mind, for whatever may happen, please forgive me."
and with that, slowly but surely, this man becomes more and more distant as your body starts to almost feel like it's burning off, and the armor falls off. And you are back in front of the old man, touching his sword, which you have instinctively let go of.
I try to write down in detail as much of that as I possibly can.
Your mic is up.
I try to, so I grab my journal and try to write down as much of that in as clear detail as I possibly can.
Okay.
Isarel is going to fall to her knees. And start to pray to Servalon in Draconic.
Yep.
And basically the prayer is like almost a cry for like almost despair of, I'm trying to find my words. Basically she feels for what the people went through, and to not forgiveness is not the word I'm looking for, definitely not, but like trying to explain and understand and accept that these people did what they thought was good. And she's basically asking Servalon to help them find their way wherever their soul is today.
You can feel your prayer kind of go out. You can see that the man kind of puts his hand kind of back onto the sword, and he says,
I used to be a guide for people. I used to be a bright light that gave people hope. Something that people could follow. Something that people could feel safe next to. I believed that I did the right thing at that time. My conviction, my purpose, all of it was taken away on that day. And I, just as Calyx, shall never be forgiven.
You are much older than even all of us combined. I'm sorry you see it that way. But if I may ask, who gave you and your fellow legionnaires the order to slaughter those people?
Shortly after the death of the first Archbishop, a second one was elected, and he sought out divine punishment. Everyone who followed the light had a dream on that night, and we saw something we thought was divine, that led us here, that let us kill without mercy. But now I realize it was no angel I saw that night.
Do I know if the second Archbishop's still alive?
Can make a history check.
Oh.
12.
Can I?
Yeah. Oh my
I was
god.
gonna say before he rolled, I was gonna give him guidance, but he already rolled before I was able to say
Yeah.
it. So
I
it
was
won't apply.
thinking too. I wasn't really showing any.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of.
wasn't thinking out loud, I guess.
Yeah. I will. That's a 12. You have a wait. Do you have? You know, I would actually give you advantage because you are a scholar in that field. So I do think you would have a deeper knowledge than most people.
I'd hope so. Sure, I'll take that. Oh. Better. 19.
19. Yeah, it is a bit unclear what happened to him. His name is Zevi Tego Eveler, who is known as the Judicator, for obvious reasons. And he's the second Archbishop. After a certain amount of time, he kind of just disappeared and was replaced by the current Archbishop, or used to be current Archbishop Sanctus G. Calix Anderson, the Cicerone. And, you know, the first Archbishop was, was assassinated and replaced. And so most people kind of think that, you stay an Archbishop until you die. But it seems like there was no reports or documents of the death of Seve Tergo Eveler. I will.
I'm curious if I got it right. I left keyboard. Probably not. No. No. Nope. Ooh. Okay. I wrote like a completely different word.
Save ergo, and then the thing I heard Servalon ergo something, and I was like, that's definitely not what he said.
I heard Zebi.
Zebi.
Yes, my friend Zebi.
Savit
Okay.
Tergo
Missing in
Eveler.
action. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a bit incomplete. Maybe he just retired and now lives as a holy member, which would be weird. So yeah, even with 19, it's like his name, he ruled, but he didn't, as far as you're concerned, rule as Archbishop for a long time.
Right, just dealt out his justice and
Yeah, kind of disappeared pretty quickly. He was then unelected. You know that an archbishop can be elected, or more to say, has to be elected by a council that is called the Enlightened Hand. All members of the Enlightened Hand have to agree that the new individual can ascend to the archbishop position, which you would also know that the Supreme High Pontiff was also elected by the Enlightened Hand.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I can. Well, I mean, maybe we could forgive him, given enough time. But it sounds like that won't end the cycle if there's more. Will getting this artifact and ending the seal stop the cycle? Stop further ones from being unleashed upon us?
I don't believe so. It will place Calyx back to where he came from. He will still exist there. Divine punishment will still occur if such a grievous sin as the slaughter of thousands and thousands of innocent people shall happen again.
That's tricky. Well, what do y'all want to do? I don't want the mark anymore, and I would love it if Calyx left. So I guess I'm fine getting the artifact. Or, given enough time, I could look to forgiving him. Now that I understand
No.
his history. So we have one no, I'm guessing is the artifact vote.
I really think that we should find that artifact. I know I'm new to the group, but
Well, we need your help, so
I like
your
her.
opinion is wanted. Eirik, you seem to be the crux.
What? So you think I'm gonna say I don't want this mark removed?
Well, if we forgive
Yes, of course I want it removed.
Do you think you could forgive him from everything that he's done? If anyone's gonna forgive him, my vote is on Eirik.
Oh,
I mean, I don't disagree.
See? See? Humans and their feelings.
Listen, I don't know a lot about this world. I really don't. So everything that he's done to me is literally, or to us, to who, whatever. I don't care. I mean, to you,
Not
and Arya,
caring.
like
I
get.
what you mean. I get what you mean.
I think if you were to forgive him, you'd have to care. So maybe we should go after the artifact instead.
Yeah. I think, although it is going to be one of the most difficult things we can do, I think it is our only option to put an end to this and not lose ourselves in the way.
Every day since meeting you guys has been the toughest thing I've ever had to go through. Each day has gotten more difficult. I see no way that this life is now going to get more simple.
Well, I think once we get rid of that and him and his little problem, we might be able to take a breath without feeling like our lives are at stake every single second.
I fucking hope so.
I kind of just like look up. Right. We'll see.
It just won't. Sorry, I just looked up to Jack
Please,
eating in his corner.
If we go the artifact route, what if Arya and Endel are still with Calyx?
Then we get to to apologize to them. And I stand up and I go towards the tree slowly.
I count as, I guess there's 4 of us. We have to eat fruit. Probably gonna be a check.
It was it preparing.
Proficiency in apple picking.
I'm not gonna, I'm not going towards the fruits necessarily, but you see Isarel walk up to the tree.
Okay, you'll talk to it. That's
And as she gets close enough to get where the roots are, he's gonna sit down in front of it and cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. Yeah, kind of sit there. And there is a bit of an ominous energy emitting from this tree, obviously. And it's gonna get close and cast a spell. How do you connect with this particular tree? Since this is quite a special one.
Yeah, it's a different one. So basically, I'm gonna do what I usually do when I first try to channel one of these Sons of Servalon and kind of empty my head and bring myself to what I believe is the weave, or what I think and I've seen of the weave and imagine in my head. And I'm gonna put my hands on the roots, and as I cast Speak with Plants, I will basically mentally tell the tree through my hands I'm going to say I'm gonna say I come in peace. What is your name, Son of Power? I am Isarel, daughter of Servalon, and I'm gonna...
Okay, yes. The first thing you notice is as you touch it, there is a searing heat that you can feel and then hear. Quickly followed what seems to be the sounds of an endless torment of people just screaming and shouting, and you have to make a Constitution saving throw. That is a 7. As you touch it, you hear a few words that come through. As immediately a rush of fire just goes through your entire body, burning you, singeing you, flying you backwards a bit, where then the connection is immediately cut. Do you speak Infernal?
Infernal tree? What?
I do not.
Then you unfortunately do not understand what it told you.
That's not what I expected.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to the others.
Did she fling back when she did that?
Yeah, that's a
Like after she took
yeah,
damage?
instinct, and you can also see on the hands they're completely burnt. As you kind of
I'm
feel
going to straight up run over to her and just lay my hands on her burns, on her hands, and use my full 20 HP that I can heal.
Before you actually do that, I'm gonna remove myself. before you can put your hands on me, I'm removing myself. And I'll look at you, put my hand on your shoulder, and I'll tell you, not now.
I have to.
Thank you, but not now.
I have to.
Give me a minute, please. And I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna start praying to Servalon. Focusing on my hands. And try to connect with Servalon.
Okay, make a straight wisdom check.
Yeah.
Jade starts pacing.
Oh, that's a save.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was weird. Yep.
That's a 5. That's dexterity.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Oh,
gonna get it. I'm gonna get it at some point. That's even worse. Let's
oh no!
There you go. There.
As you focus on your hands and think about Servalon, you can just, as you look on them, the wounds kind of start to burn again. As you're thinking about it strongly, and you take another 9 fire damage as something starts to seal inside of you. You feel like you somehow connected with something, but whatever you connected with just causes these burns to become worse. And
As soon as I feel that, I'm gonna put my hands up towards Jade.
I very timidly go, "Can I help now?"
Yes.
I just kind of let out a big sigh and rush over and place my hands on yours and give you 20 HP back.
As you're have your hands on me, I'm just gonna use you to get up. Thank you.
Just doing my job. I don't ever like to see innocents suffer. And from what I've seen and been told, you're a very kind person that cares a lot.
I needed to try something before you took the pain away.
I'll look over to the bearded. I don't know. He needs a name. To Sandy.
Creepy Santa.
I'm just saying. So I'm confused. I've been researching lately, and well, it seems hell definitely exists. Why can't I find heaven?
make a persuasion check.
Such a standard question to ask.
Yeah, this is the whole question.
Why? Kind of takes his sword out of the ground again and flings it back onto his back. He turns around but doesn't look towards you, but instead kind of walks towards the little boy that is still there, who at this point has finished, it seems like, carving one of these poles. He kind of goes to his knees next to the small child and then kind of just places his hand onto the head of it and then just starts kind of, stroking it a bit. And then takes one of the burned bodies of the orcs and then kind of letting go of the other one with minimal movement, takes the pole or stake and just starts impaling the orc through. And just with pure physical strength, just rams it right through until the other end comes out. And then the little boy gives him another little stick with which he then takes one of the arms of the orcs where the mark is supposed to be, puts it to the mouth of the orc, and then just starts nailing it towards where the mouth is. As you have seen many corpses being attached to a stake this way. So it kind of raises it and then rams it into the ground.
You know, the reason why I have been chosen to stay at this place is because I am one of the few individuals who still has the remnants of divine blood.
He kind of turns around.
You wish to know my name, is that correct?
Your name, as it was, I guess, in your previous life.
I shall not tell you my name. However, I am now father of Gwendolyn Esquinox.
And he kind of looks down to the child.
I used to be the first light bearer.
Oh, good thing we didn't fight him.
And I should write that name
Yes,
Sure,
please.
yeah.
because there's
I feel
no
like
way.
we've heard that before, haven't we? Gwendolyn? Probably. That's familiar. I was actually super close.
Oh shit!
When I was-
Oh,
I
was like-
I was spelling it like that, the first name, but the last name I.
So I believe to have a great connection to the heavenly planes. The visions I saw of a beautiful sky, angelic beings with choirs as beautiful as silk smooth water that pours through the ears. But I always felt one odd sensation every time I had those visions. A sensation that these things that I was seeing were memories. Long lost memories. Now I understand. The same way as I came to realize that the Watchers that name our days, that name our Voss, are all dead, and that the gods we pray to have abandoned us.
Yeah, I kind of just get lost in thought. And what about the vision most of us saw for the current crusade? to reignite the light.
Attempts to reconnect, to call out to the gods, so that he may return to us.
Like lighting a beacon. Interesting. We eat the apple, then find the artifact, and send Calyx home. Everybody good? Sounds like the plan.
It's a
Yeah, just great.
it's a plum actually.
A plum. Oh,
The fruit.
well, we are fate weavers, so I think it's best we choose our own fate with this. If everybody wants to gather around, I will do what prep I can to give us the best chance. I guess
I would look at Izero. When you tried to speak with the tree, what did you experience?
I felt as if people or souls were trapped in that tree. And then I just felt heat. Unimaginable heat. And then something spoke in a language I don't understand. And I got thrown back.
that sounds right for hell. Well, I'll take out a pearl. Make sure everybody's gathered around. And I'll kind of rub it between my hands, toss it into the air, and as it goes up about 10 feet, it will shatter around all of us and start sprinkling almost like starlight around our entire group. And the starlight will be focused into our eyes as we start seeing times in the past, in the current, in the future, all at the same time. So I'll do Fortune's Favor at 5th level, getting all 4 of us.
God dang.
That's basically a single reroll if we need it for the next hour. And I'll get rid of that pearl.
Yes. You can see that. I guess we can now just call him father. Which
Daddy.
Oh my gosh.
or Father Christmas, since he does look a
Yeah,
bit like
he's Santa.
yeah, he's Santa. That the father of Gwendolen kind of having now finished impaling and staking the rest of the orcs that were collected,
As you do.
he kind of bends down and whispers something to presumably Gwendolyn, who then takes the stakes, and he seems to be able to lift them with ease, and places fully grown 6 burnt to a crisp orcs onto one of his shoulders, just stacking them on top of each other, and starts making his way out of the crater. He then turns towards you, kind of brandishes his sword to the air, and then kind of lets it down, pointing it towards your group. And you can see this long steel or whatever kind of material this blade was made out of, pointing directly towards you. Even though he's standing like 10-15 feet away, this sword reaches your group, and he says,
You shall need a blessing before you travel to hell. Otherwise your minds and bodies will be taken in by the blight that corrupts those lands. I shall be the one who shall bless you. So, whoever wishes to be blessed, please step forward and place your neck beside my blade.
Iserl steps up and just talk. She's ready.
kind of rests the blade onto your shoulder, but not fully. You can feel the sharpness of this blade, even though it isn't directly touching your neck, it's only just resting there. And then the 3 of you suddenly, in a jolt, just see something. You're like, oh fuck, as he just cuts through.
Head rolls.
As the blade passes through her neck, and then lifts the blade and touches her top portion of the head and lifts it again. I swear, all you feel is like a quick wind going through your throat from your right side to your left side. For a moment, you're thinking like, oh, this is how it feels like to be decapitated. And then you move your neck, but your head still seems to be attached. And then instead, as you're kind of moving around, you notice like a small glow coming from your throat. As you maybe turn around to the rest of your party, you can see a holy symbol around her throat that lights up and then suddenly fades into her skin and then disappears.
What did the holy symbol look like?
It was the holy symbol of the Holy Lichniers, but instead that the north, south, west, east lines were the longest, it were the ones that are the diagonal ones were now the longest instead.
Guess I'm next. Look over him, and I guess hold my necklace very tight.
Mm.
I'll take your other hand in my hand.
Thank you. It's very tight and sweaty.
You may all stand next to each other if that makes you more comfortable.
I'll extend my other hand and point it towards Eirik. Come on.
Yeah. And he's walking up, looking at his already missing finger. Going,
Yeah, that's
what
my
in the hell is going on?
that's my hand that's missing a finger that's going. Come on. Give me your hand. And then I'll look.
As I'm grabbing your hand, I'm just gonna say like, what the fucking shit is this? What are we fucking?
I'll just slowly squeeze it, and then I'll look back to Jade and I'll say, "Come on."
I'll walk up But while I'm walking up, I'm just going to be holding my family amulet with my family crest on it, and just kind of speaking in Undercommon and just kind of praising my family and saying how much I love them, and I'm honoring them by doing this. So if anybody speaks Undercommon, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Mm-mm.
Sadly.
Yes. You get a sense of pride as you kind of do that. And then you all stand next to each other, places the blade at one end of the chain, and in one fell swoop goes through all of you. Except Isra, because you already had it.
Yeah.
And then he lifts it, and then touches gently first on Fiera. And then you can also feel a warmth, and then the glow appears on your neck or your throat, and then on Eirik. Once again, the glow and the warmth, and then finally, Jade. And then you can feel the warmth and see the brightness, the symbol on your throat. And they then all slowly fade away. You don't feel much different, which is either a good or a bad sign. And then he kind of takes his blade back, places it inside of the earth again, and then says, "Good luck."
What are we looking? It's an artifact. What does it look like? What are we looking for? I don't think any of us have been to hell.
What you are seeking is known as the Spear of Avernus.
Fear doesn't have, but
It is one of the most holy and divine weapons that have ever existed. It is said that this was the spear that created the first layer of hell and pins down one of the first sinners. The wound that the spear created, the flow of blood that perpetually bleeds out, creates a river of blood known as the River Styx. This river, you may find it, for it will lead you to the wound where the spear is. But be wary. You must go against the stream of the river and do not follow it, for otherwise you may become lost inside of hell. You will not take the spear back. You will but only take back a fragment. You will know why.
and we come back by
Once you are in possession of the fragment of the Spear of Avernus, you shall gain a few things that will allow you to come back. It is, after all, the very weapon that created this place in the first place.
Unlock the fast travel to hell. Click.
It'd be super simple. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think that's enough for us to go off of. I'd like to push this back and think things through and prepare for another month or two, but I don't think time's on our side. Let's go eat some fruit, and if anybody needs more help, let me know. I guess Ezreal, do you mind going first?
I don't mind it. But first, let me, and I'll basically I'll cast. Well, I will channel divinity, so I'll hold my moon crescent, and I will invoke Servalon to channel divinity. Kiss it, and then take my hand, slowly put it on Fiera's head, then on Irik's head, and then on Jade's head, and then on my heart. And I will cast Emboldening Bond, which for the next 10 minutes, we can all add a d4 to any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw we make. As long as we all stay within 30 feet of each other. Since I'm assuming that we're going to be going through some shit within the next 10 minutes, I do that.
Sure.
No.
And then I'll walk to the tree and pick up one of the fruits.
Easy enough to find. Can see this blood red plum, or at least it looks like a plum. It's the size of a plum that you then pick.
It's so gross.
What?
A bloody plum?
Oh, I thought you just don't like plums. I was like, damn, plums are dope.
Plums are so good.
Okay. Is everyone taking a bite of the plum?
Just because everybody's holding something, apparently, I'm gonna pull out the firestone that I got from Telding, because it's the only thing that I feel has any kind of significance to what we're about to do. And I'll just hold it. I'll make it look like I know there's some sort of like significance to this, just to, you know,
Just to fit in.
just to fit in. I have no idea if it's gonna do anything or have any importance, but I'll hold it and be like, "Oh yeah, look at this," and I'll grab a plum.
And then I'm just gonna grab a hell plum. Okay. Then each and every single one of you takes a bite. I'm leaving enough time in case someone says, no. Actually, I will let them do it. Nope.
I'll do it when
I'm
Ezreal
good.
does it.
Then 4 bites it is. And you chew in this juicy, blood-filled plum. That's where we're gonna take a break.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
So we can see.
We're all right next to each other. Pockets ready.
Yup. Well, no one gets the inspiration because no one guessed correctly what this dude is.
I kind of did.
A light bearer.
I
Oh my
did say
God.
he was a part of what I was researching.
Oh. Yeah, technically, yeah. So, actually, yeah, you can have an inspiration for that. I forgot that part. I forgot that part. And guess what? You're gonna need all the help you can get.
Shut your
Yeah.
face.
Because what a better place to go during Christmas time than hell itself.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
a
I
paladin
was
and
not
a cleric
expecting that.
going to hell. Oh man.
Mhm.
I
That's
I
gonna
was
be
trying to
fun.
figure out what planes existed, and to find out hell exists, we are going there.
Yep.
Wonderful. Oh, in heaven? Yeah, that might not exist anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, so
My
Some of
brain
the,
is
like-
just melting. Like,
Yeah, this is the
just-
most notes I've taken for like a session. Just like, oh,
This is the most notes I've ever taken for pretty much the entire thing.
yeah, you guys were
Oh,
waiting all
man.
the time. And like I said, for episode 42, you're gonna get some answers.
we got
Oh
a
my
lot of
gosh.
answers.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
4:20 right now a.m. at my place, which is
oh my
42.
God.
All right,
Which is
good time for
42.
that break.
Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna puff some dope shit, so see you in a bit. Bye.
You don't need any. You don't need any.
Hello, and welcome back. These folks were just about to eat a bloody plum. Or at least they have eaten a bloody plum, and now they desperately want to know what is gonna happen with them. Are they gonna get torn apart? Are they gonna bleed to death? What is happening right now? Well, first and foremost, what is going to happen is that it literally tastes like a plum that is filled with blood or is made out of blood. So there's a nifty, strong taste of pure iron that hits your mouth. Either you like it or you gag. You can decide out of your own volition how your characters would react to a mouthful of blood.
Not well.
Yeah, and you kind of chew on it for a bit until, you know, you kind of swallow it. And that doesn't seem to happen anything at first, and then you still see, well, you have still some plum left. And then you kind of eat around the seed to kind of finish the plum itself. And as you kind of stand there and watch at each other, there is a odd tingling sensation that starts to creep up to your heart, as if the rhythm of your heartbeat starts to pump in a very specific rhythm, not your own of how your heart wants to pump, but instead of, well, I guess something else. You can almost feel like a distant drum beat that your heartbeat is now sinking towards to. It's a, you know, unique experience. Jesus Christ, I got something stuck in my throat. Woo! Jesus, what the fuck is happening? And as this happens, you then suddenly feel a rush, as almost like you puke something out. It's a sensation that something is coming out of you, but you feel that your entire body is just getting sucked into the tree itself. And you, in a big swoosh, just get pulled by an incredible force, as if sucked by some sort of vacuum. The way we imagine, you know, people to get sucked out of a plane when the door suddenly opens. It's the exact feeling of what you would imagine would happen at that moment. And as you get sucked, you can see yourselves get jolted towards the sky immediately above you, as the ground you were just standing on becomes smaller and smaller. It's as if you're being sucked up in a long, semi-transparent tube that is made out of red, glowing, arcane energy. And as your body is continuously being accelerated and you gain more and more altitude by the second, the red flower growth becomes but a dot, and you can now start to see the cliff sides beside it, then the ocean, then the entire crossing as you go higher and higher. Your body doesn't feel quite physical or corporeal. If anything, you are feeling every fiber inside of your body being stretched out like a noodle. It is extremely hard to focus or stay conscious, as you know, you're being whipped out of your normal state of mental well-being, every one of you has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Plus your D4.
Mm-hmm. Plus a D4. That's a 25. Doesn't even need it. It's still 27 for the extra brag.
Oh, come on!
I rolled a 4.
Oh, that was a normal Constitution. You have to do a save.
I thought this was fair enough.
I'm gonna use my +5.
Oh, okay.
What do we have? 14.
Okay.
17.
So,
18 total.
as you're all getting pulled through, you can strain yourselves as if heavy G-forces are currently pulling on you, that it's hard to stay conscious, and in fact, Fiera, you just blink out and become unconscious as you're getting pulled through. However, the other three, you stay conscious, and those of you who are still awake can then start to see the entire country of Azathia underneath you, and the high-standing mountains of Colossus. And as you kind of look down, you can even see parts of the Servalon Great Woods where you were a couple of days ago. You can make a perception check as you are currently being sucked up into the sky even further and further and further.
All of us?
Yeah, you all, since you're all in the same tube.
Oh,
Open your eyes!
Yeah. You are just bumping around and trying to struggle with the sensation, trying to stay conscious. Israel and Eirik, you are still able to keep your focus, and you kind of just look around. You are in an incredibly high place right now. Many miles above the ground. You can literally see the borders, if they were drawn, of these countries. And as you kind of look out to the horizon to the west, where you know where the ocean is, you can see at the very edge of it, creeping there, the Everstorm, the edge of what you know is your known world, as you're shooting further and further up. However, Israel, you have extremely good eyes, and as you focus and kind of look into the empty liminal space around you, you can see other very faint, thin threads or strands of arcane glowing strings that also seem to be going down and floating into the sky, like a weave of different roots coming down towards the earth. Not many, just a couple sprawn around that you can just see the faintest trace of. And as you're kind of occupied with that, you then realize a bright white light starts to hinder your vision. And as you focus your gaze at what you are flying towards, you can now see the astral vestige above you, glowing brightly, and you're heading straight for it. And as you get closer and closer, you can see what seems to be cracks, one of which you are aiming towards, and where this route that you're traveling through seems to be going through. And then in another sun-violent thrust, it's like you're just getting smashed into a piece of white glass as you hit this astral vestige, and you all have to make another Constitution saving throw.
Even though
Oh no, you don't have to. You are unconscious.
Okay, good.
This is just to
I'll
see
say it's fine,
if you can stay conscious.
Don't forget your +4.
Oh,
Your
God.
+D4.
Yes, you hit against it, and immediately as this sudden pull comes to a halt, Jade, you just get knocked out, as if you literally just crashed against a solid surface. The other two of you are straining as you can feel this immense pressure just pushing against your entire body, your soul, your mind. It's as if you're being squeezed through a piece of solid glass. And this pressure, this bludgeoning sensation just increases until in one brief moment, It feels like you've been pulled through the glass, that whatever was holding you back has finally broken. And you can even see shatters of white light pass behind you as you continue to accelerate further and further and further up, now into a dark sky. And as you look down, you can see what looks like a glass dome that then becomes smaller and smaller. Different reflecting light, similar to the astral vestige, but behind it you can see a very vague silhouette of a continent you both recognize. And beyond it, you can see the edge of what is the Everstorm you know, kind of crumpling a bunch of these thick, large black clouds that encircle this glass dome. And beyond that, vast amount of water. And you can all make another perception check as you're continuously being sucked up into the air.
Am I just able to grab onto Isorel at this point?
Sure, you can do that.
You have Fortune's favor, Azrael. That's real.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my Fortune's favor.
Okay.
Much better. And I'm gonna use my little D4. There.
Ooh. Oh, you also have a D4, Eric.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Every 6 seconds, we have a new D4.
Yeah. As you're being pulled up further and further, you can see the dome that still is extremely large and it's, you know, the size of the continent. It's not a perfect sphere, no. In fact, it follows the silhouette of your continent, the Saphire Plane, as you know. And as you kind of look further and pay attention to the edges, trying to see anything on the horizon, you are able to see on the very far east southern side of where Tellus is, or beyond where Tellus is, since it's inside of the dome, you can see different small islands and then one larger landmass that then disappears beyond the curving horizon. You also see, well, not you, Eric, but only Isorel, on the northern side, now that you're scanning the horizon for any other things that are there, just the peaks of what looks to be mountain tops, and above them a fat plume of large black smoke coming out, covering large portions of the sky. And the most you can see is this plume of smoke, since it flies higher than the horizon itself and then disappears. And because you have extremely good eyes, Isorel, what you can also see, now that you take your focus away from what seems to be this large vista of ocean and what seems to be other land masses in the sky on the other end of where the horizon sits, floating stones in space. They look like big debris of broken rock floating there, but close enough to be visible for the eye. It looks like, you know, as if a astral body had exploded and then the debris of it just stays there. And as you kind of take that in, you can now see as you disappear further and further and further away, the planets that you can clearly see become smaller and smaller and smaller, until finally it is but a dot left behind. As your speed is still increasing with every inch that you move forward to wherever your destination is. And you're floating continuously just through a empty black space. Still this odd red line guiding you to wherever you are going. And then suddenly, as you kind of take in the moment, get used to the stretching feeling, another jolt hits you. the darkness of the space turns back into a burning red aura, as you can see in front of you where you are now heading towards. Another sphere. Make a perception check.
Has it been 10 minutes?
No, I would say this is
Okay.
going pretty quick.
Good. So, if we wanted, we still have the +4. The plus,
D4.
yeah.
Waiting for Isovel's D4.
I'm probably not seeing anything, to be honest.
To 11. Yeah, you're still taken aback by the view you had and not concentrating as much. Eric, however, you are still focusing. You know, you want to see where you're landing. You're a very pragmatic guy, you know. You want to know where your feet are going to be. And you can see this large kind of red glowing sphere that you are aiming towards. However, other thing you notice about the sphere is that there are 7 other smaller spheres around one larger one. And as you are torpedoing closer and closer, a pattern emerges from the smaller spheres that then create a large net around the red one that you are going towards. And as you aim toward it with incredible speed, there's but a split second for you to realize that you're crashing right into it. And yet with another brutal impact, your body feels like as if it were being hit by a truck or some large animal, since you guys don't know what a truck is. And you can see your soul literally leave your body, and for a brief moment it is ejected from your body before it collapses back into your physical form, and with it, you fall onto the ground. And you can feel scorched, hot, dry, and cracked earth. A plume of dust and smoke kind of emerges beside you as you kind of impact this heavy land. And you try to gain your bearings of where you are. You look around you where your comrades are. You can see Isorel standing next to you, the only one who's still awake. However, Fiera and Jade just kind of collapse unconsciously onto the ground next to you. The first thing that you notice is as you kind of grasp in for air, you inhale some of that dust that billowed out as you landed. It's dry, it's sore, you can already feel a hot sensation emanating from the ground and from above you as sweat starts to pour down from your skin, which then immediately evaporates as the heat is unbearably hot. What do you two do?
First things first, do my scales feel anything?
You... Not... nothing unusual is currently happening with your scales at this moment, no.
Okay. Look around to see if there is any immediate threat that seems to be around us. Is there a creature or like a lava pool or anything that's immediately dangerous?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
While he's doing that, I'm immediately going to look at the 2 that are unconscious and try to determine if it's a unconscious of their body did not withstand this, or do I need to heal them right away, basically.
Yeah, you go immediately towards Fiera's bodies and Jade's body as Eric, you climb one of these kind of cracked stones to get a higher vantage point. I saw you quickly realize that they just kind of became unconscious by, either through how's it called? A blood pressure differential that was too immediate, and
Yeah.
you just like probably shaking them a bit will probably
They passed out in the roller coaster.
exactly
Basically.
yes.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
literally what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just shake them to try and wake them up. That is
Yeah, I would basically like, you know, gently try to wake them up. Maybe like put some water like on their neck or their
yeah.
foreheads to try to, you know, like try to do it gently, but like kind of urgently still. Like, yo, you gotta wake up, guys.
Yeah, and you know, as you kind of shake them, you do then eventually wake up, and you can, you know, feel a bit of soreness in your body as you landed quite roughly, but it's hot, it's dry, and it's very, very uncomfortable. Eirik, however, as Fiera and Jade are currently being woken up, run towards one of these cracked hills, and you can see that there are sharp, jagged, and cracked rocks protruding out of the ground, like really gnarly looking rock formations. There are small edged cliffs and stones that just litter the entire place. The sky is red, and there are what seems to be like 3 moons in the sky. One of them is, or has a muted red color, the other one a green, and the last one kind of a brown grayish one. And as you climb to this elevated position to get a better bearing of this barren field, you can see, and the only thing that is a bit more kind of that piques your interest, because really everything here seems very similar, is there is a long, tall object or structure rather. It's a bit unclear what it is. That is extremely far away, but it goes all the way from the ground into the sky and then disappears into the sky just because it goes so far up. There seems to be a mountain range around where it has contacted with the ground, so you don't see the tip of it. And from where you are, can maybe estimate, like it's far away as in, you know, maybe 50 or more miles away. And that's not the only thing you notice, because as you kind of look around there are many flying things. Presumably creatures from the way they're moving that don't really look like birds, but instead a bit humanoid creatures with wings, it seems like. And as you kind of go from the sky back to the ground in the distance, maybe in a mile or so, you can see other creatures kind of roaming this deserted landscape. And you know you're not alone here.
Yeah, I'll immediately get back down under whatever cover we might have and just be like, okay, lots of stuff over that way. There's a tower that Fiera's going to be very jealous of. And I think... I don't know what to think.
Did you see a river?
Did I see a river?
From your perspective, unfortunately not. There are a lot of like these little cliffs that keep jutting out that do kind of obscure a lot of the way. So you might have to like move from where you are to try and get a better vantage point. You have seen a few, you know, kind of more slowly upper cresting hills where potentially a river could hide behind. So that would be your best bet, which is why you wouldn't have seen it. So you're just in an unfortunate place, probably.
Yeah, no river. I don't think it was going to be that easy. Welcome to hell.
Alright.
Alright. You girl, and I point to the two that pass out. You girls are okay? You're fine?
I guess.
Oh, you're muted.
That was
Yep.
weird. I don't remember muting. So I would just kind of like go like this and like just feel myself. And then I would just kind of grab my head and like shake it. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for waking me.
Well, quicker we find the river, the quicker we can get back to a place we know.
Yes. It would
You don't
be
happen to
me
have a
the best-
locate river spell, do you?
No, I can locate animals, I can locate plants, I can locate what else can I locate? I can that's all I have. I can fake a river, but that's not really what we're looking for.
Well,
I don't see any type of plants around me, do I?
Where you currently are, no, it really looks like a dried, scorched earth,
Yeah.
barren, dead landscape. You can still make a perception check if you wish to search, but yeah.
Not really. I would probably just do a quick, like, can I talk to something really close to me? No, okay, I'm done. You know.
Yeah, it's like, everything's dead. Okay.
Did Glamour make it with us?
I probably pooped him away before we did that,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't have to eat a plum.
It's probably his reaction if he had to do it.
Yeah. I'll bring him up if we need to, but
Okay, well, Miss looking for ancient artifacts.
I guess I'd recommend a higher vantage.
Yeah, well,
don't-
going up there, I saw a lot of things flying in the air and a lot of things running around on the ground.
Okay. And so far we've seen this big structure. I mean, the artifact is probably large. Means the
It's a
river.
s- Well, the
Well, it's-
artifact is a spear. I don't think it would be
Right.
that large.
I mean, artifacts that angels left behind were quite large.
That created this.
Fair.
Right. I guess I'd recommend we just head toward the tallest thing, which seems to be the thing that goes to the sky. And once we get closer, maybe we can find a river.
Hopefully.
I'll start walking toward the tall thing. Yep.
Yep.
I'm following very closely. And my eyes are everywhere.
Scanning the horizon for sure. Then, the first thing y'all can do is roll me a D100.
All of us or one of us?
Only one of
I'm on it.
So 65. Roll me a D20.
I'll do
Anybody
it.
else want?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Really?
Oh no, he laughs.
I hate when he does that.
Well, I didn't do anything.
When you laugh, it's terrifying.
Hey, I'm always smiling. What can I say?
It's just the creepy giggle behind the mic.
Oh, I just got chills. Oh man. I
So
don't want to die yet.
you guys start walking, and walking you do. Yeah, who is helming? Oh, I guess Fiera, you are helming this expedition.
Yeah,
I would probably be walking right next to Fiera.
sure.
I'd be right behind, watching everywhere and making sure that Eirik stays within distance of me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not walking any further away. Like, I'm right there.
Yeah, then this is gonna turn into an obvious skill challenge.
Oof.
And because you have several goals, which is, first of all, I'm presuming you wanna stay out of sight of whatever's creeping and crawling around here,
Yup.
and trying to get or find wherever the river is. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You got
Yep.
So,
we're
Yep.
bringing Flanky back. Oh,
this is
'cause I have
obviously
chainmail.
quite a difficult task. You will need 5 successes in order to succeed without anything occurring. I won't tell how many failures will result in you failing. So y'all gotta tell me what skills you're gonna use in this situation, in this unknown and dangerous place, that is gonna keep you safe and get you to a blood river.
The first thing I would do is try to use the basic survival skills that I learned during my search for a shrine before I became a druid, to kind of help spot which places are like a little bit more shadowed or offer a little bit more cover from the sky, and try to help and guide the group around like where we could be less seen.
Why did you just steal my thunder right now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, which skill are you trying to use?
I was gonna try to use survival.
Then go ahead and roll me a survival check, because by the way, you are trying to convince me that the skill is gonna be helpful. So you have to say which skill you want to use and then try and explain why it's...
Well, that's why I said like my basic survival.
Can I give guidance on her?
Yeah, of course. If there's a place to guide, this is the place to guide.
An extra D4.
Has it been more than 10 minutes since we left?
Yes, now it definitely would
Okay.
have been the...
Perfect. That's something I want to know. I need to keep it in mind.
Yep, that's good. Keeping track.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
that's good.
really good.
That's very good. There we go.
Yes. So, the first part of your journey actually goes quite well as you step forward, and though Fiera tries to lead the group, Isorel's instincts.
Sorry.
What kind of guide you at first, as it's unfamiliar terrain. You don't know whether you should go, you know, northeast, south, or west. You don't even know if northeast, south, or west even exists here. And Isorel knows that feeling all too well. So you just kind of stick with one path that you kind of just walk along, because you found out during your time alone inside of the wild is, you know, getting a bearings of how the lands works itself is the most important part, to see, you know, if there are any repetitions on how some of the natural structures occur that can give you hints as to, you know, where some things might be placed that you're seeking. For example, a river, you're looking for indentations, crevices, cracks, ravines, anything that could hint towards where a body of water could flow through. And you do then, after walking for a bit, get to a point where it seems like the entire land is in a very slight incline. And you're presuming that maybe once upon a time a large river was here that has kind of sunken down to a smaller one, which does happen. And that is your best guide as of now, to just kind of follow this little incline, and maybe at the end of it you might stumble across a river. So that is one success.
Nice. There is a river. How heavily was like hell taught to the Lichnius? The kind of like normal things where it's like fables, stories, you know, nighttime terrors.
Well, it was often used as a tool of lecture to, you know, show you why you shouldn't, you know, commit sin. It's like very similar to Christianity, where it is used, you know, to educate people about very certain aspects. So it is pretty, quote unquote, mapped out to a certain degree at least. But only, you know, in forms of, like, they don't say, oh, there exists the Society of Devils and they are led by the Archduke of blah 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 blah. That never occurred. It never was a hierarchy or something. It was like, if you do this, then you go here. If you do that, then you will go there. That kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Shucks. I forgot how to use religion here.
Oh, I mean, I would allow it to maybe see if there are any specific details mentioned.
Yeah, I guess I would look for things like, you know, we're looking for the river Styx. We're looking for the Spear of Avernus. We would need to avoid flying devils. I would try to recall information that would help us, you know, avoid like, I guess, where devils may go to or what they would be attracted to. I would try to figure out, well, you know, it's rumored that the river Styx goes this direction. It kind of swerves, so maybe it's not straight. Also, you're not supposed to go with the current. You're supposed to go against it. And then the Spear of Avernus, you know, there might be a lore of where it's rumored to lay.
Yes.
If I could do a religion check for that.
Yep, can definitely do that. It's a 16. Very nice.
I could try to go higher. I'll stick with it. Okay.
So you kind of take a brief pause, try and re-educate yourself as you're kind of brainstorming what you were traversing here. And, you know, the environment reminds you very strongly of what has often been depicted as what hell looks like, you know, kind of blood-scorn earth, everything dry and jagged rocks, very unpleasant environment. You do remember one thing that mentioned was the River Styx. River Styx is somewhat famous, even in the Holy Lichnius religion, as it's the, you know, ever-flowing river of blood where the souls are trapped and get carried through all layers of hell, which is why the father of Gwendolen warned you not to follow downstream, because then you would go deeper and deeper into hell. And you also know that along with the river, the wind blows in the same direction as where the river is flowing towards at any given moment. The river does swivel and swirl, which means the wind also changes in those places. So you never want to go against or with the wind, because that means you are, you know, parallel to the river and will never, you know, reach the river. So you always have to kind of go sideways of where the wind is blowing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so if like the wind is going like north to south, you probably want to go east or west.
Exactly. And since you have an incline, and you're presuming that that might be the direction, you now know that if the wind is blowing in a certain direction, you can have a more specific targeted direction that you can now aim towards. And that allows you to have a more focused path, and that is your second success.
With religion, yes.
Let's go.
From the wizard.
What is the ground like that we're walking on?
It is currently very cracked, dry earth, similar to Death Valley is the best way you can imagine it.
Okay. Can I use investigation? And I'm going to try to determine if there's any weak spots around the cracks, or is any spots along the ground that look like they might collapse or open up into a cavern or anything like that.
Oh, yes. Keeping you safe from dangerous terrain, of course. Environmental hazards are quite dangerous. A 21. Yeah, you have walked across multiple of smaller sets of cracks that have just randomly seem to be there on the ground. As you kind of walk past them, you assume, oh, maybe it's like 5 feet deep, but as you kind of look down, nope, you can't even see the bottom of it. And you're like, oh, buddy. And occasionally, you even hear a crack in the distance. And you notice, Eirik, that on some of the kind of jagged stone spires, what seems to be like a glowing infernal rune appears, and shortly after it glows up and dissipates, the sound of a crack appearing also occurs. So it seems like that is a bit related. So every time you see, one of those kind of infernal runes light up, you tell your party to kind of stop in their tracks, just to make sure that you don't go towards where potentially one of these mini ravines will just randomly appear. And there are different sections on the floor that have like these tiny mini spikes that if you would fall, you would just probably scrape and cut open your entire skin, that you also have to avoid. And then everything in this environment is so hazardous and made to make travel extremely uncomfortable that you're doing your best to, guide your group with the safest and more easiest and comfortable path, which you do successfully, making that the third success.
Were the runes that lit up, were they lit up long enough for me to get a sense of what it looked like, so I can...
It's very brief. You would have to kind of dedicate some extra time to try and find that, and that would potentially put you into danger, which you can try, but the risk is yours to take.
That's okay. As long as I know that if they light up, slow down.
You.
So I want to use survival with mentioning of the ravines and like they're popping up. I want to take all of my knowledge from living in those types of environments to help guide our path to where, like, if one's popping up here, there's a chance that like there could be a dip that we're not seeing or unexpected, things like that. Knowledge of what I know.
Yes.
And I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Very good. In this unholy place, you need guidance. Dang, man, these walls are top freaking tier. Holy shit, that's a 28. Yeah, you are.
I know ravines.
Yeah, you do know ravines. And this landscape is pretty similar ravine-esque. That's what I wanted to say. Your ravine doesn't have as many jagged spires and stone claws jutting out. However, some of the textures are quite similar, where it's just this very rough stone that is just uncomfortable to touch. And more importantly, you know how to navigate through stones and cliffs to kind of hide yourself from potential danger, which is probably what you are, aiming to do here, since there are a lot of creatures passing by. And you do often see like just a flock and swarm of 20 or 30 flying things that kind of scour above you, and you just manage to guide your group through a kind of clear edge and just place them towards there, so they are immediately out of sight from whatever is kind of trying to find their next prey. And also, you know how to comfortably navigate, you know, steep terrain, or when you have to climb, stuff like that. You are extremely proficient with, because you've been basically climbing all your life up and down cliffs. So you know all of the footholds, or what kind of structures will hold your weight or not. You're very familiar with that. And so at one portion, you do have to climb down a larger cliff that is about 20 feet tall, and with your help and guidance, the entire group makes it down that cliff safely. As you get down there, you are able to see in the distance what may potentially be a river. You're very close. Only one more success.
Is there any similarities between where we are now and anything that I saw in Yeshimon?
Ooh, interesting. Make a history check.
Guidance.
Okay.
I love that that's a cantrip. Just
Holy shit. 23. You kind of think back, and not really. Yeshimon is full of sand and dunes. The volcano has maybe potentially similar vibes, but there the ground is black and not red, which is, you know, also quite different than here. So yeah, not too many similarities that you would make.
Just hot.
Yeah, and this hot is like a different kind of hot. It just feels, you know, skin burning, as if you're immediately next to a flame, while, you know, Yeshimon is just the sun kind of scorching your ass. Okay, who wants to make the last roll?
We don't have failures, so we could try pretty much whatever.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm trying to see.
I think I have one. So it kind of
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Thinking.
Oh, he froze.
Yep.
oh no.
Matt. He's probably just still talking and like...
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Well, he probably realized at some point.
When he's done talking and then you don't respond.
Yeah. Okay, now we just have to wait for hopefully a Discord message. Oh wow, he's casting augury.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, can't talk? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it just froze like 10 seconds.
Mm.
No, we
what was-
noticed.
Yes. I can imagine. What was the last thing I said?
That you were
You're gonna
thinking.
combine. You are
Oh.
going to combine.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so first, while somebody's checking out Ravine or something, I'll take out my locket and use augury. I haven't used that in a while. Did it post roll 20 like it shows for me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'll simply ask if the direction we're going will lead us to the river Styx.
Oh,
I
and
see
then
if it's good, bad, or otherwise, as the one of the arrows starts spinning.
yep, it starts spinning, and then it stops onto the top portion, like it shows 12 o'clock, and that means a good result.
Okay, good. So confirming that we are going the right direction. I'll then use Detect Magic and try to use Arcana to see if I can get any strong essence of the river. Because I imagine if it's conjured by a divine object, it may leave some sort of like residual divine magic in like the weave of hell, essentially.
Mm.
If that makes sense for Arcana.
Yeah, you know what? I shall allow that since you're doing
Trying to read the weave.
Yep. There's a 20. Holy shit. Well, that is a clean skill challenge. 5 to 5. That doesn't happen very often.
Yay.
God
We
dang.
did
right.
it.
There's no horses involved, so we're pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, that does spite usually. Yeah, you use your arcane sensors to kind of look for any hints of traces of magic that you follow. As soon as you activate your detect magic, the entire area lights up because, well, you're in a magical plane, so everything has remnants of magical auras conjuring it up, feeling a very heavy evocation in every single stone that surrounds you, almost as if, like, you know, every stone could erupt into a fireball at any moment kind of feeling. And as you're moving around, the one particular thing you can often see is when a creature cruises nearby, they also leave behind a magical trace, since these aren't normal humans. And that is what prevents you from directly going towards a bit of danger that now stands in your way as you realize that you're going to the right direction. You can see this very, very faint, almost like wind or smoke in the way you detect magic. Is kind of seeing it as the wind billows, and as you now know, the wind follows the river Styx, so maybe it has something part with it. There's occasionally like a very light blue or yellow strand that passes you that seems like divine magic and then disappears for a brief moment, meaning that you must be quite close, that the kind of residuals of that magic is visible from so far, because you still can't really see the river, but it must be close. However, the direction you're traveling is currently being blocked by what seems to be a large figure that stands on top one of the cliffs watching over. It is humanoid in shape in that it has one head, in that it has 2 arms, in that it has 2 legs, a chest and a stomach. However, you can see from his head are 2 jagged, sectioned off horns that kind of curl back, a very bulky, muscular form, red skin, but kind of grayish pecs, and what seems to be a fiery magma crest or rift inside of its stomach, where you can see an eye inside of it. A very almost demonic looking greenish smile of not a human face, but what you assume to be a devil's one. And in one of his arms, he's just has this big, cracked, jagged looking piece of metal that has also cracks inside of it where magma is flowing through it. And he's just kind of standing where you want to go, and he's just kind of looking over the area in front of you, blocking your way.
Looking at us, or is he looking?
No, he's
the other
just
way?
kind of just in the area,
Oh,
just
he's-
looking around. He hasn't seen you yet, no.
Can we tell what direction the river is going from where we are?
Not quite. Like I said, you can't see the river, but you're pretty damn sure it must be behind this dude. So you're presuming from, you know, somewhere there. It might go from the right or left, or maybe
Right.
from the other side. It's a bit hard to tell.
I think it would be nice to avoid him. I'm a little bit worried if we go the wrong direction, we may get stuck going the wrong way.
Or there'll be even more of him.
Right.
How far away is he from us?
He's about, I'd say like 60 feet or a little bit more than
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Like 70, 80 feet.
Do we have anything that can create a distraction?
I want to try to do something, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. I want to... My range is only 30 feet, so I would want to do it where it's a different direction from where we are, but to try to make it look that way and possibly go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use minor illusion
Okay.
to like give the form of like like of just like we're gonna do, instead of a form, we're gonna do like a voice that just says like, we need you, just to try to see if it'll react and get it walking away from us.
Okay. So, since you're a bit far away from him, 30 feet, wherever you would put it 30 feet would draw it closer towards you.
Okay, I don't want to do that then.
Just because of how the distances work, he would have to still approach that voice, which would still be closer towards you. Yeah.
Okay. I might regret this. I'm gonna try to leave the group a little bit to get closer to them, or to him, but also try to like get him away from them, so I could get into range to put it in a different direction.
Yeah. So you all are standing currently behind one of these smaller cliffs where rocks are jutting out. And then, you know, there are like pathways that kind of lead through these small plateaus, you can basically call them. And he's on a second plateau that is behind the one you are currently hiding behind. And
Oh,
looking
okay, so that, never mind, I don't want to do that then.
there.
I
Okay.
misunderstood like how he was positioned compared to us.
I mean, since you're thinking so much, I can just put you on the maps if you want to have better
Oh,
visuals.
man.
I know that people often think that means combat.
No.
It does help with the visual of like
Yeah.
where he is
Yes.
in comparison to us and to where we need to go.
Yeah. If you have a
I'm-
map, I'd love to see a map.
Yeah, because the mental image is not registering right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
it definitely was not.
Yeah. It's pretty simple. You're all on the left
A
side.
couple nipples. Nice.
What?
What? They all look like nipples.
Kinda.
The stones?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Oh, you're right. Oh no, now our video is gonna get flagged. Oh shit.
Now we're good. It's after 60 seconds from the start. We're good.
Okay, okay.
And we're trying basically to go this way, right? Like to this
Gotta go
edge.
past it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Past him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Where are we trying to go?
Like, yeah,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
I'm worried if we go like far direction, or
Oh,
some weird tree might happen.
Yeah, if we try to go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, also, if he's up there and he's looking around, maybe he's not paying as much attention immediately under him.
Right.
by the way, this is what this guy looks like since you're
Ah!
spending so much
Oh,
time
that's
with
pretty
him.
normal. Sure.
Oh, he looks
nice.
happy.
Right.
He looks actually really cool.
He's
Little
actually,
overweight, you know, so he's probably slow.
he's a cool dude. Oh, I should actually put the map. Oh,
Could be friendly. I mean, we don't know, you know, what.
devil's up to, you know, they're demons.
Yeah, it's all those rumors and.
If I didn't know better, I would say he looks almost dragon-like.
Hey!
Well,
Oh man.
I'm gonna try to put him in a bubble if nobody has a better idea. That way we can swap past if it actually works.
I
I'm
mean,
just
yeah,
trying to
I have a
think
couple
of
things
something
that
real quick.
could be distractions, but it's just obvious. It's so obvious that something is causing
Yeah,
it. Like,
same.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can, if I can get within 60 feet of him, I can try to command him to flee.
I
it doesn't. I don't like that.
hold on.
I don't like a lot of
Let
things.
me-
I admit.
Let me calculate something.
Calculating. I can't cast flying
I-
owls at the moment. I don't have my fifth.
Oh my gosh, I think I have something. It's gonna sound very, very, very stupid.
Will it lead to
but-
combat?
Nope.
Okay.
I think if I do, let me calculating here. Yeah, it works. Okay. So
Oh, no.
I'm going to cast. I'm saying this like as an idea to the group. I could cast hallucinatory terrain to make it look like we're not there and put the corner exactly where Jade is and make it a 150 by 150 cube for the time that we are going through it. I don't know if he can see through illusions or not.
That
But
sounds
that's-
like a good idea.
That is the idea that I have right now.
Seems like the safest.
I like
'Cause-
that, and then if for some reason he does, figure out that we're there, I could try to command him at that point.
Does that make? Can you change sound or is it just visual?
It is purely visual.
Yeah, so we'd have to not walk right next to him.
We would have to be very careful as we pass next to him.
I mean, we can just run too, if we get
I
far
would-
enough.
I'd be very noisy running.
Well, if he sees us. I guess I like the idea.
Hang on 1 second.
How big of an area is it? Is it 150 by? Oh, geez, I can look it up.
It's with 150 cube.
150 by 150, yeah.
150 by 150. That is really big. You could also place it around him, and then just make a lot of pillars, so he can't see, and it's all directions, so he doesn't know what direction anything is happening.
The problem
Mhm.
is he would know that something or someone is trying to put an illusion on him. Which is why I'm trying to make it seem like we are not there.
Yeah, yeah.
I like their original idea better.
Okay, I'm down with it. If anything happens, we just try to make him run away and get out.
Yeah, sorry about that. Little one woke up.
Oh,
That's fine. They
Okay.
do tend to do that.
Yeah.
Well, anyone else?
I mean, like I said, my distraction techniques are clearly
I think the rest of us are
sourced by something.
They make big boom boom.
Not so much boom boom, but it's obviously an effect that is happening. So it's very, very much not stealthy.
Okay. Then please do tell me what it is. Oh, hold on. That is something I actually wanted to remind you of, which is, I swear. Oh no, that's okay. It's just for the future. Some spells require material components.
Yep.
Just so you know, this one doesn't.
Yes. I keep a very close track of what I use to make sure that I don't accidentally try to cast a spell with something that costs like 500 gold and I don't have the material for it.
Speaking of that, would I have the spell that I asked you if I was allowed to have? It does have like a component where it's a crystal vial worth at least 300 gold. Would I have that?
Yeah, you would have that.
Okay.
Since you said that.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because with the fun thing with hallucinatory terrain is I can literally just druid craft a piece of rock and then make my terrain. I can just plop my own components there. This one is not a big deal.
Yep. Yeah, it's only when there's a cost that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so 150 feet, which you want to...
Yes.
Oops, that's not what I wanted. Corner. You want to draw like this, basically. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make it look like it is exactly as it is. Nothing at all has changed. But because we are aware of the illusion, it looks like I've just superimposed an image over it. So it looks kind of weirdly blurry. You're like, am I seeing double or not? You know, you're not quite sure. But like everything is exactly as it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's one hell of a creative way to try and get around. So, if...
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's a fucking dope idea. So, you can now attempt to stealth across it, and because of the hallucinatory terrain, you all have advantage.
Yes. I needed that. It gets rid of my disadvantage.
Oh boy. +1. Here we go. Has it been an hour since I cast Fortune's Favor?
Yeah. You traveling and trying to find the river definitely has taken quite a bit of time. Unfortunately.
I'm gonna
I can
cast. I'm gonna cast guidance
jeez.
on myself.
It was a 1 and a 19, so
There.
thank God for damage.
Hey, what was it? The first or the last? It was the
one
first.
one.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Oh my
That was-
god.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yep, +7. I mean, if I noticed you being loud, I could kernel shit.
And I did say I cast guidance on myself.
How the fuck? I mean, I'll use... Can I use multiple flashes of genius on the same...
No. No. That'd be too crazy. So you could just have plus 30.
You
Uh,
went
I
too quick.
Can I give my inspiration to Eirik?
Oh, you don't have a Fate Weaver locket, so unfortunately you can't.
Oh, that's right, I don't. Dang it!
So only Isoel, Fiera, and Eirik can interlock their fates with each other.
Well,
I mean, I'll chrono shift, I guess.
Yeah, you can chrono
trying to
shift.
think how time can affect this.
You went too fast for me.
Yeah, I will try to manipulate the sound to just go so fast as like it didn't even happen. I guess something like that.
I think that,
I'll fast forward him through it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll chrono shift if you want to reroll once.
oh boy.
Or I'm slowing down sound so it takes longer to reach him. So we're gone by the time that he hears it. There we go.
25. So the lowest.
It was like this over a 2. Like it was like.
So the lowest roll we have is a 14. Now I obviously roll perception checks for this guy to see whether or not he sees you. So you start going as a group. No, not the drawing. Oh my god. We can get rid of the drawing. Whoop. Don't worry, I've got it.
Hold on.
I got it. So you start walking inside of here. Yes?
If the difference isn't obvious by touch, a creature carefully examining the illusion can attempt an intelligence investigation check to disbelieve it. So if he believes he heard me, he then needs to make the investigation check to see if he sees through the illusion. And he needs to go against my spell DC.
If the difference is likely to see solution, if the difference is not obvious by touch, the careful can examine the illusion can attempt intentions. I think that only is for visuals and not for sounds.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if he hears me.
Oh yeah.
Once he's done the perception. That check. Once he's done that, if he's trying to see like where it's coming from,
Yeah.
he's then gonna have to do that.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe he failed, who knows. So you guys travel as a group together, slowly and carefully, and you're all staying pretty quiet up until this point where Eirik almost stumbles and falls down, but with chrono shift gets fast forwarded and then basically skips the step that he skipped, putting it back at the normal step he would have taken, making it a normal step, making it so he doesn't fall down. Now that's one complicated way of saying he didn't slip.
Just stayed standing.
And you continue walking and walking until at this point, Isorel, you step on a bit of dried earth that makes a very, very faint. And that's when the attention gets grabbed by it as it turns immediately towards the direction you are. It kind of looks in the direction where you are, but just kind of aimlessly in space, not looking anyone directly into the eyes, even though he does cross everyone's face. And he will make an intelligence to see whether or not I will make it an open roll, because, you know, so you can see.
So it's, yeah, investigation.
That's a double 3.
That is
So,
nice, that guy.
Can I can I make that same crunch over this direction to try to get him away, like look the other direction?
yes, you can most certainly try and do that. However, I have to check. I have to check one thing. which is, since casting a spell usually breaks whatever illusion you're inside of because you have to do stuff, and there's a semantic sound. Wait, what is SM? Oh, material, semantic and a material component. I will still have require you to make a stealth check, since you are still moving to cast a spell, which means your armor is moving. You still get advantage because you're inside of, you know, this hallucinatory terrain that he hasn't seen through. That is a 15.
Can I add a flash of genius to her roll?
Of course. What do you do?
I'm gonna stand in front of her and just kind of like, I'm gonna try to use my body as a sound dampening.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty damn good. Because immediately as she lifts her hand, a bit of her shoulder touches bits of a chainmail attached to her side, which kind of make a very slight clinging noise, which gets dampened by your body as you press yourself in front of it, and then it's mute enough that it kind of just fades away into the distance. What kind of...
So the noise that I want to make is the same noise that Izrael made, but louder.
Okay. A crunch noise 30 feet there.
Now he doesn't hear it.
He immediately turns towards that direction, and you can see him just jump. And as he jumps, you can see that he leaves behind this magma trail. And he can jump quite fast. He immediately goes towards that point and lands down. As he lands down, you can just see this little eruption of fire come towards his feet as the ground beneath him just melts away. As he seems now searching for where this sound came from. What are you guys doing?
Tiptoeing.
Continue to tiptoe?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Then you can make another stealth check.
Guidance on myself.
With advantage still?
Yes, with advantage still. He still is not able to perceive you.
Oh shit.
Advantage is really nice.
Y'all need to give me a second.
Oh shit.
Wait, why did... Where's my... Oh, that's terrible. I want to use my inspiration.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one to use it for.
Fire to be quiet.
That's a 14.
Plus the 1, so
Yes,
15.
15. And that is a 20. Let's see what he gets. Okay. So, you continue to sneak around, still obscured by the hallucinatory terrain. And now
I'll
you...
let everybody else go first,
Oh.
and then stick in the back, just in case.
Okay, you stick in the back. And you waddle your way further and further in front. Now making double sure that you aren't stepping on any dried bits or broken, cracked earth that could potentially make a sound. And as you kind of step out of the terrain, you can just hear footsteps from him going further away as his attention is caught in the other direction, and you are free to go to where you wish to go. As you
Oh my god,
bypass
my minor
him.
illusion helped.
Oh my
I almost
god.
didn't. I almost did not take that spell. I am so thankful that I did.
Oh my
it
gosh.
is.
I'm so happy I thought about that freaking terrain thing.
Your terrain,
That's
and
great.
then my minor illusion helped.
Oh yeah.
And He's gone.
Illusion.
Seeing as how hard it seems to be now that we are in the depths of it,
Hmm.
I'm going to once again take my moon crescent, kiss it, put my hand on each of my friends and companions, and then on my heart, and we have another emboldening bond. So we now all have a D4 for all of our rolls for the next 10 minutes, once per turn. So every
Is that
6
what
seconds. Yeah.
That's what you've been trying to get us to do.
Yes. I was trying to do it, but y'all were like, okay, rolling. And I'm like,
Can
Yes.
guidance stack on that?
Yeah, but hallucinatory terrain is it concentration?
no.
Oh, even better. Oh, it even stays there for 24 hours.
Yeah. It's just there for the next 24
Oh,
hours.
okay, it takes 10 minutes to cast. Okay. Yep. Okay. So you passed by this brutish devil. What is your next
That's
step?
it. There was only one of them down here, right?
The only one.
Can
He was it.
Oh, yeah.
Can I
we-
use my divine sense? I mean, it only is for 60 feet.
Is he right next to us?
You just turn around slowly.
Roar.
Yeah, so as an action, I can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sure nothing's like hiding, like
Next
Well,
to us.
the thing is, if they were hiding, they would be unaffected by the spell, because if they have total cover, your spell doesn't pick them up. Is what I
it
just...
seems so useless.
It does, which is why right now we're gonna rewrite that and say, yes, you can, because otherwise that'd be a
Yay!
fucking pointless ass. Well, it does. It's like if you want to see if someone is, you know, has a disguise, or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one of my paladin abilities. Like, it just the way it's written is dumb.
Yeah, you can do that, but 60 feet, you know, you weren't even 60 feet to that guy just now. But for maybe a last pinch or not to get ambushed, that's probably extremely helpful. So
I
yeah.
just want to make sure because, like, we're getting ready to go around this corner. Basically, I'm wanting to make sure that nothing's, like, waiting on the other side of the corner that we didn't originally see.
Oh, well, okay. You are past this map. You would just continue eastwards and continue your journey there. So the map you can kind of just ignore.
Okay.
Yes, so no worries about that. Like I said, just because I put a bottom up doesn't mean a fight ensues, okay? Now you've learned that if anywhere that rings true now, it was in hell and no fight happened, okay?
Yeah, that's why I didn't mind just passing on it. I mean, he looked cool. It would have been a fun fight, but
That would have been a brutal
also
fight.
fire would have been. He probably resistant to fire. So
I'm so glad I know how to do fireball now.
I've only seen like Irish throw fire, so
I think all of my spells except one are fire based right now.
okay. So let's avoid
Oh
combat.
my gosh.
I was
We have
not
Paladin, though.
I was not expecting to go to hell.
What?
None of you were. You were just kind of
No.
plop down, plop. And here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the river. Go bathing.
Okay, yeah, since you already successfully done your skill challenge, and you were correct, Fiora, as the veins of your detect magic kind of fades away, but after maybe like another 5 minutes of walking or so, there's a steep incline, and in front of you, you can very clearly see the red flowing river, and it's a bit weird to look at because, you know, blood isn't as fluid as water, So it's this viscous consistency that is kind of sliming its way through here. And occasionally you can see a bubble pop up that then turns into a face, that then turns into a screaming face, that then leaves a hushed sound as it then disappears. As the river then flows in front of you with very quiet whispers. And there's an odd sensation of just being close to it. However, a other thing that becomes very, very noticeable as you now kind of reach this river and come down the incline is the terrain next to or on the other side of the river looks very, very different from your side. Very different in the sense that it's almost completely flat. No jagged rocks or anything like that, or structures, but just a blackened landscape. Literally as if someone peppered black ash across all of it and then flattened it with a coffee grinder. It is completely and utterly even, with the occasional dead, curling and twisting branch of what may be a plant or tree that kind of juts out like a sapling that just looks like a tree that has withered 1,000 years ago. But other than that, it's just a plain field. But that's on the other side of the river.
I'll just tap Iserel and be like, it's a plant! It's a plant!
And there are multiple of them. There's not just one. They're like, you know.
How wide's the river?
The river is decently wide. It's around I have to convert that, like 200 meters, which is 600 feet.
It's a big river.
Yeah. Like you need to build a proper bridge to cross it.
Do we want to cross it? I mean, do you want to talk to one of the plants, I guess, Israel? Or see if they're even alive? Or if they're even a plant?
It does require somewhat of a higher demand on me to speak with those plants, and I'd rather keep that energy in case we need it. I don't want to spend a spell slot.
She whispers.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, we see the direction it's going. We just need to go against it and keep our eyes hyper aware of everything that's around us. And just be prepared for anything.
Do we see, or I guess Eric would have mentioned probably flying things in the sky. Is it on both sides of the river at this point, or can we see them at all?
Make a perception check. And what he does that?
I think I got some, like, I don't know, some weird material just building
Just
up my
ash
glasses.
in your eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, and you're like,
Oh,
oh dang, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I didn't bring a cloth to clean it. Oh,
Yeah, you just got completely distracted. However, one of you can still roll me a D100.
I'll do it.
Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Okay. Yeah, you now stand in front of the river Styx. What do you do next?
do you guys think it matters what side of the river we tread? If it's different? We might have more cover on this side, but what if the other side's safer? I guess maybe it doesn't matter.
Can we still see the big tall tower thing?
Yeah, it's so freaking tall. You can probably see it from anywhere here. It's that tall.
And it looks like it's probably on the other side, yeah?
No, it actually seems down where the river's flowing from.
Oh.
Like I said, the spear might be unbelievably large, depending who wielded it.
Just pointing to the big tall thing.
Exactly. Okay, let's follow it against the...
Yeah, let's not waste time trying to get across the damn freaking river of blood. We're here?
We'll literally cross the bridge when we get to it.
Literally.
You know what? You get the inspiration for that. That just fits too perfectly. Like, I gotta, you know. Sometimes you just gotta.
That's right.
For once, my quick wits was...
They paid off. They finally paid off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yep.
Okay.
Follow the blood.
Nope. Against
Well, don't
the blood.
I mean, you know what I mean.
You go the right direction.
We go
Not
the
the
wrong
wrong
direction. Yeah, then you go against the stream and follow up this bloodied river towards what looks like a string in the distance, a thread hanging straight there. And just like that thread, I'm gonna leave you hanging right here, because that's the end of the session. My quick wit hasn't left me yet. And we will see next week where this bloody river is gonna friggin' take ya. Ain't that something? You guys are in hell, and on a special Christmas session, it's gonna be in hell. It's gonna be hell of a time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, of all places to be right before Christmas.
And during
We did it.
Christmas. Yeah, what a session.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It always is.
I guess I prepped for a fight today, but I'm worried. If we find something that's like fire immune, can we do damage?
No.
Thankfully I have my weapon attacks, plus I've got my smites.
Yeah, just I'll buff the paladin and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I can Ray of Frost cantrip every time.
Nice, slow it down.
I've got some thunder damage, I've got psychic damage.
I've got a
fire.
couple other things that aren't fire, but like
I have radiant damage,
There we go.
and then I have fire, and then I have more fire, and then a little bit more fire. And then I prepared my summon Fae so I can send basically a tree Fae into a fire land. You know?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
very
yeah.
So yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. I'm very prepared right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I
just talk
feel-
to the devils.
Yeah.
I literally feel as if someone told me, "Oh yeah, bring your swimsuit to go jet skiing on the biggest like rapids river ever,"
Too
and I'm
bad.
like,
Yeah.
showed
bad
up
you're
in a
not a-
bikini.
Too bad you're not a wildfire druid.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily you're not a wildfire druid. Because
What do you mean? They enjoy fire.
Yeah, but
yeah, but they can't
they
also
cast fire.
yeah, they also just cast fire.
Well, they can do other things too, but they have fire resistance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Wow.
like adaptability, but you also heavily limit yourself on the best things you can do. But yeah, I mean, the best trips to hell are those that are unexpected. And that is what happened right here, folks.
Quick day trip.
Yeah, don't ever let them
There and back.
tell you otherwise. I love sending them to hell.
We
Good
never
luck
found
making your
out-
Tower of Weird in hell.
We
I don't know if
weren't
we're gonna get
told-
rest.
We weren't told on how to leave hell once we got the artifact.
The artifact will tell us.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
we'll figure it
Here
out.
it says, you will gain a few things that will allow you to come back.
Oh,
okay.
did you wrote on the exact
He
wording?
said we'll figure it out. It's up to you.
I realized that I wrote exactly what Jack said, like in a few spots. I went from us to you to us to you.
I did the same thing.
Well, luckily,
yeah.
we have a video to look back to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be definitely doing that this week because I know I didn't write down as much notes as I could have.
Yeah,
We have like
stuff.
44 views on our last video. That's impressive.
on our last.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Wait,
What
what?
happened?
Yeah.
Holy shit. that's
Dude,
Uh-huh. You guys didn't see that?
no.
I mean, okay.
And the last time I looked at it had like 2. Holy shit!
Or we have 21.
It's the
What,
one. It's the
45?
one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Travis
40.
Brewing was doing pretty damn well. 21, still 21.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, what's?
Kind of random. What happened?
We're going up because episode 39 we had 17 views. We're going up.
Yeah, we really
We're
are.
starting.
But
Well, thank you to our viewers.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
anyone who's
We need more player deaths. Maybe that's
Oh,
or unless it's one of you guys just coming back to the video and clicking over and over it again. No, wait. Actually, it doesn't count that, right?
It's
It
30
doesn't.
seconds of continuous viewing
And it's-
counts as a view.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what's it called? Unique viewers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
I would
yeah.
damn.
Thanks everyone.
Yeah. We pretend- well, I guess putting in so much work is finally paying off a little bit, I guess. But like I said, I really want to make a recap, like a proper recap, so people can start watching
Oh.
from the
Good luck.
arena.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where this campaign really picks up, because I think the first few are a little bit too slow and political and people don't really know what's going on.
We were
we
a
did
bit
know.
confused and we didn't know what we were doing, and yeah.
Yeah.
We basically played a prologue.
Yeah, a very long
Yeah.
prologue that
Yeah.
goes on for like 40 hours before it actually then starts picking off.
Yep.
Yeah, well, thank you to all the new viewers. Hope you enjoy it. Because this is definitely gonna get just freaking more exciting. I mean, more exciting than hell? I don't think so. Yeah. So without further ado, gonna see each other next week. Have a good ones, y'all. Have a good ones, y'all. Bye.